Hello, ladies, gentlemen, punters. Thanks for joining us here on BetRacingNation. We're going to cover the JCB Triumph hurdle. Got a great panel of pundits with me. John Henwood-Ross, good evening. Sandy Castle, good evening.
Good evening.
And Adam Ward, good evening to you. Now, this is it a cracker or isn't it a cracker? We've been saying maybe it's not the strongest JCB Triumph hurdle we've seen, but a horse that certainly is the one at the top of the market, isn't it? The Williams runner. What do you make of that?
Le Rocher, yeah, he's from the Nick Williams stable. He's obviously got a high reputation from France, and he's backed that up. Simple as really. He won at Chepstow in December, beating Kentucky Hayden, the Henderson horse. He then won at Cheltenham, beating Kentucky Hayden even more emphatically than he did at Chepstow. That has both been on heavy going. The question mark slightly would be, does he need heavy going? Or does it not matter to him? You know, one thing that did really impress me about him, though, is the way he went up the hill. He looked so powerful, and Richard Johnson just gave him a few little slaps, and he just kept on quickening and quickening, and he was almost the best at the end of his race, which I like to see in horses. Yeah, well,
you know, Nick Williams come out and you know, pretty much stated he thinks that his own horse has got the best juvenile form in the race. But John, going over to you, you know, we don't want to overlook the whole field, and you know, Le Roche has obviously got great form to his name, but there's something else in there surely that you can maybe have an each-way punt on anti-post.
Well, I'd just like to say that I think the most important guide for this race is about to happen on Saturday. It's the Adonis Hurdle at Kempton. It's produced 5 winners in the last 19 or 20 runnings, including Zarkanda, I think. And
it's a pretty good judge. Then,
yeah. But you know, I have to say, there's one horse that's right down this list, Activial. Harry Fry.
Is that yogurt, isn't it?
Sorry?
Is that yogurt?
Well, anyway, Harry Fry trains, and he came second to this Calypto, who's now the second favourite.
Yeah.
And he was only 3 and a bit lengths, I think, second, and he hasn't run since. And the race
where's
was
the colours of Silvanaco Conti?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I just think Activial is going to run a big race on Saturday, and I think this 33-1 that I can see there, I think that's going to dry up. And
You're not going to see that again?
Absolutely not. I think he's going to, yeah.
We can touch on that form, the Newbury form, because that's where Calypto's 2 wins have come.
Yeah.
They both on heavy going. One thing I've noted about him, he travels strongly through his races. He's just come there on the bridle. What he has beat, I think, is...
it's not as much as what Le Roche is,
no, it's not as strong. Paul
that.
Nicholls has described him as a big baby who would be better on better ground. He's only 8-1.
Fair. Well, I do know one other big baby.
I thought he did really well, by the way.
I do know one other big baby, and that's Sam Boswell. He's just quickly going to update us over in the betting ring over there with the latest odds for the JCB Triumph hurdle. Sam, latest odds, please.
Good to see you still complimenting me there, Tom. Yeah, lovely stuff. So the favourite at the moment, you can get best price about that runner at 7-1. So if you do fancy it, that's only going to shorten probably as we get closer to the race. There are a couple of bits and pieces form-wise, races left to run around this weekend. So I would start thinking about what you're going to pick in this race. We've also got Calypto, the Paul Nicholls runner, 8-1 best price. If you're that impressed by those 2 runs, I wasn't and not taken by it. We've also had Hyphen mention the value pick he thinks in Activial, not just a yogurt but also 33-1, potentially an each way angle maybe. The one I must mention before I hand you back though is this All Pepper, 50-1s on Monday. We're now into 20-1 best price. This is Willie Mullins' runner. It's going to be running at the weekend. I think even 20-1 now looks value. I'll hand you back over to the panel, and that's my pick for the Triumph.
Yeah, I mean, that is the steamer, that is the market mover, All Pepper, and Sandy's you know, given a mention to that quite a lot of the time. But Adam Ward, what will you be backing in the JCB? Can I have a bit of a you know, roller and also your overall selection?
I just think it's such an awful Triumph hurdle. I know we said it's weak, but you know, there's not even. I think last year there was about 4 or 5 horses I was quite excited about, and you know, it was trying to pick one. This race, I know Le Rocher holds the key form, but it's all on heavy ground. Apparently, Guitar Pete is the best Ireland have to offer, and you know, you look at his form when he came over to here, and Royal Irishers are comfortably beating him, and that form, you know, it's got question marks about it at the minute.
Right.
You know, obviously, a couple of the panel have outside bets on All Pepper. I haven't really seen him, to be honest, but it's just a really weak Triumph hurdle this year. Obviously Saturday will give us a few more clues, and I think I'd rather wait until the weekend's racing before maybe having a little bet on this race.
So that's how bad it is. So not a selection then?
No, Le Rocher is the best so far, obviously, and like I said, very boring, but It's not a great race.
Sandy Castle selection.
I think the Irish must be very disappointed that their top horse for this is Guitar Pete at the moment. That could change. All Pepper could be their leading charge. Broughton, he's an 89 flat rated horse. One at Musselburgh.
Is he a selection?
No, he's not.
I'm saying up for selection, Sam.
He's classy on the flat.
John Ferguson's record at Cheltenham, though, he still hasn't had a Cheltenham win.
No, but
selection though for this race, Andy.
I would, at this stage, it has to be La Rocha.
La Rocha, and your selection.
Ask me next Thursday.
Ask you next Thursday.
Absolutely, after the races at Kempton and Fairley
Right.
House.
Well, I've been given for you viewers at home. You know, we are helpful. We've got one La Rocha, the anti-post favourite, and two absolute blanks is what our panel has drawn here. I'll put one up for you, and that is Royal Irish Hussar. He's actually had the better of La Rocha round Cheltenham, and currently at the odds of 20 to 1 or 16 to 1. I think that's a fair bet. Join us for more of our previews, and you might be on a moneymaker. Thanks for watching.